already joined that very exclusive club that this gentleman is in.
He's only had 9 UFC fights.
Crazy.
He barely got here.
The only person who's done it quicker is Alex.
So
But Alex lost, right? He did it
Alex
after he got
had lost
knocked out.
I'm going to be ready for everything. I'm ready for everything. I'm ready for the victory. I deserve that because I work really hard. And like I used to say, the belts are earned in the trainings. In the competition, you just go to collect them. And this is what I did tonight.
After his tough loss at UFC 317, Charles Oliveira has broken his silence and reached out to his fans. He opened up about how he feels after the defeat and shared his thoughts on what comes next. Reflecting on his long journey in MMA, Charles admitted this wasn't the result he wanted, but accepted it as part of the game and God's will. He let everyone know he's doing fine, even though he needed some stitches after the fight. Charles also thanked his supporters for their love and motivation during this time. For now, he plans to return home, focus on recovery, and think about his future plans in the sport.
It's been many years doing what I love. Tonight wasn't how we wanted it, but it's part of it, and as God wanted, I'm fine with a few stitches, but it's part of it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone for the energy, support, and affection for me. I'm gonna go home and see what happens next.
Charles also took a moment to say sorry to his fans who have stood by him through every high and low in his career.
Charles Oliveira shared on his X account, "My apologies."
Former lightweight champ also delivered an emotional message to everyone.
Message on his Instagram after the fight.
He posted on Instagram after the fight, showing his unwavering faith and staying positive despite the setback at UFC 317.
There will be good days and there will be bad days, but there will be God in them all.
Meanwhile, Joe Rogan shared his thoughts on Ilia Topuria's impressive victory, applauding his dedication and steady progress. Rogan noted that Ilia continues to evolve as a fighter and carries himself with remarkable confidence. He was particularly struck by Ilia telling Charles Oliveira before the fight, "I'm sorry it has to be you," calling that attitude unbelievable. Rogan said it's incredible to witness someone compete with such strong self-belief.
Works so hard, and he just keeps getting better, and he's getting better with this insane confidence that he has.
Yeah.
His confidence is just like above and beyond.
We talked about it.
To be able to step in there against a guy like Charles Oliveira and say, "I'm sorry that it has to be you."
I mean,
Which is what he's been
right
saying.
on the front end. He's training.
I'm
he's thinking,
sorry it
"Poor
has to be
Charles."
you.
Says poor Charles.
That's
right?
crazy.
So
Crazy.
Ilia Topuria also shared his thoughts on his devastating knockout victory over Charles Oliveira at UFC 317. He mentioned that the fight played out just as he had envisioned. After connecting with a few punches, he noticed Oliveira was shocked and quickly went for a takedown attempt. Ilia successfully defended it, gained control on the ground, and almost secured a dominant spot. Although Oliveira managed to scramble back to his feet, once they started trading strikes again, Ilia landed the final blow that knocked him out.
Exactly what I said. I connected with a couple of punches. He was like shocked and he said, "I need to get a takedown." Then I defended the takedown. I control him in the ground. Almost, I get a very dominating position in the ground. I was very, very close to get it. He did a great scramble in the ground. Again, we went to the striking and finally I could knock him out.
Ilia Topuria clarified that he wasn't being overconfident before the fight. Instead, he simply believed in himself. That's why he predicted he would finish Charles Oliveira in the first round. He shared that no one in his team told him to be cautious or tone down his prediction because they all knew he could achieve it. According to Ilia, his entire team had complete trust and faith in his plan.
And what's amazing too is not the way you performed, but the fact that you called your shot, right? The whole time you said, "I'm gonna knock him out in the first round." Was anybody around you maybe saying like, "Bro, like, calm down a little bit. We're moving up. This is Charles Oliveira. You don't have to say first round"?
Everyone around me knew it that I would do it. Everyone knew it.
Ilia Topuria shared that he was smiling as he walked to the octagon because, in his mind, he was simply going to claim the belt he had already earned. He explained that the real victory happened during his intense training camps where he proved his abilities every single day. Ilia stated that he knows exactly how skilled he is and truly believes no one can compete with him inside the cage. He admitted that some people might think he sounds arrogant or insane when he says these things, but he always backs up his words by proving he's the best fighter in the world.
I thought it was amazing too when you were walking in tonight. Like the first time the camera showed you, it seemed like there was just a smile on your face. I mean, here's this pressure-packed situation, and you're just.
I just came to collect my belt. I already won it in the training sessions. I know how hard I work. I know what I'm able to do in the sparring sessions and the training sessions. I know how good I am. I know that no one can match my level of skills inside the octagon. And when I say this, maybe I sound a little bit cocky. You guys think that I'm crazy, but I used to prove it. that I'm the best fighter in the world.
Meanwhile, UFC superstar and former lightweight champion Conor McGregor congratulated Ilia Topuria for capturing his old titles. He also joked about Ilia's comments regarding Paddy Pimblett. Conor praised Ilia's streak of 3 knockouts, calling it both impressive and undeniable. At the same time, he showed respect to Charles Oliveira, referring to him as a legend, and wishing him a speedy recovery. However, Conor later deleted the post, leaving his fans puzzled once again.
McGregor wrote, "Congrats on winning my old titles, Ilia. He said he's gonna rest his balls on Paddy's head, too. Ha ha ha, fair play. Good lightweight scrap, that one is as well. Emo, UFC is back. Or still missing something. 3 knockouts back to back is very good. No one can deny the knockout. I like roses. Unlucky to Charles also. Styles make fights. You are a tremendous and legendary UFC fighter. Rest up."
At the same time, Demetrius Johnson applauded Ilia Topuria for his huge victory over Charles Oliveira to claim the lightweight title. He explained how Ilia immediately took control of the center, used his crisp jab effectively, and dominated the early exchanges. When Charles attempted to use his size advantage and went for a takedown, Ilia reversed it and ended up on top. Demi highlighted that what truly sets Ilia apart is his ability to be dangerous in every aspect of the fight, showcasing his well-rounded skills.
Ilia Topuria getting it done once again against Charles Oliveira, becomes the lightweight champion of the world. So let's talk about this fight. Right off the rip, he comes in the middle of the octagon. He starts popping that beautiful jab he has, and they start exchanging, and Charles is not getting the better of exchanges, and Charles went with a high guard and threw a low kick. The low kick was landing more of a calf kick, but Ilia Topuria was still pressing forward. I did like how Charles did try to use his size difference and take down Ilia Topuria. Through that exchange, it looked like Charles Oliveira pulled him off the cage, went for a bear hug, and went for a trip. When he did that, Ilia Topuria was able to reverse him and land in guard. Now, this is one of the things that I've always really enjoyed about watching Ilia Topuria, is that he's very good everywhere.
Demetrius Johnson broke down how Ilia Topuria ended the fight against Charles Oliveira. He explained that as soon as Ilia's right hand connected, Charles was already knocked out, and the left hook that followed just confirmed it. Charles began collapsing with his eyes rolling back, completely unconscious. Ilia then landed 2 hammer fists on the ground, and that's what brought the fight to an end.
Once that right hand landed, Charles was out. The right hand put Charles out. Then the left hook landed. That also put Charles out. Charles was going out completely out. You can see his eyes rolling in the back of his head. Didn't roll in the back of his head, but he was out. You know, he was there, but nobody was home upstairs. And then he drops Charles, goes around to the right, lands 2 hammer kicks, and that's all she wrote.
Former UFC champion Daniel Cormier admitted he was nearly speechless when talking about Ilia Topuria. He pointed out that Ilia's talent for dominating his opponents, knocking them out, and accurately predicting how he'll finish them is something truly rare. Cormier also mentioned that a lot of people thought Ilia would have a tough time against Charles Oliveira, considering how difficult he has been for others. But Ilia made it look effortless.
Very rarely am I at a loss for words when it comes to athletes. I really cannot find the words to explain what we are seeing from Ilia Topuria. I mean, his ability to control guys, knock guys out, tell us what he's going to do to knock guys out, and then go out there and deliver is second to none. You know, you kind of expected him to have a harder time with Charles Oliveira, because we have seen everybody have a hard time with Charles Oliveira.
Daniel Cormier called Ilia Topuria genuine superstar, saying that fans will be eager to watch him for many years to come. He believes that as long as Ilia remains focused and continues to do things the right way, he will stay at the top and hold on to the lightweight belt for a long time. Cormier mentioned that Islam Makhachev would likely be one of Ilia's toughest opponents since both are at the elite level. However, right now, Ilia is separating himself from the rest, and Cormier finds it amazing to witness.
Ilia Topuria is a real-life star, man. He really is. And I think that we're going to be watching this kid for a real long time. As long as he stays the course, he seems to be doing all the right things. As long as he stays the course, I believe he's going to be very viable and in the championship picture as the champion at 155 for a long time. I think Islam can fight him, but I think Islam will be one of the greatest challenges he would have because they're both just next level. But right now, man, he seems to be separating himself from everybody. It's just unbelievable.
Bonel Dariash also shared his thoughts on UFC 317, saying that a fight between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria would probably play out similarly to Islam's previous matchups. He explained that Islam's size advantage, along with his effective use of distance kicks and takedowns, allows him to control his opponents by mixing everything together smoothly. Beneil felt this would be a challenging fight for Ilia. However, he also admitted that after seeing how Ilia performs, he wouldn't be shocked if Ilia managed to knock Islam out as well.
I think, Islam has such a big size advantage, and if he, distance kicks, takedown, rinse and repeat, if he continues to mix those things up, I think it would be a difficult fight for Ilia. But from what I saw, it wouldn't surprise me if he was able to put Makhachev's lights out too.
Dean Benal Doriash believes that controlling the distance and using feints are crucial to defeating Ilia Topuria and ending his unbeaten streak. He explained that fighters can't allow Ilia to slowly close the gap and find his comfort zone, because once he's in range, he can generate powerful strikes with ease. Benal recommended constantly throwing feints and mixing in takedowns, knees, and kicks to keep Ilia guessing and prevent him from setting up his attacks. He also emphasized that Ilia is a complete fighter with strong grappling skills, making him extremely dangerous and tough to beat.
What do you think would be the key factor to taking his undefeated record and beating him?
Distance management is really important, and fakes. You can't let this guy, touch you little by little and enter into your space. And once you enter into your space, he's very fluid with his ability to generate power. So you have to constantly be faking, never allowing him to set up inside, and mix in a lot of takedowns, mix in a lot of knees, mix in a lot of kicks, just to keep him at a certain distance and nullify his power. But at the same time, he can grapple too. He really is such a complete fighter. He's such a great fighter.
Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev's coach, Javier Mendez, praised Ilia Topuria's performance against Charles Oliveira, calling it incredibly impressive. He gave Ilia full credit, describing him as a very confident and precise fighter. Javier also highlighted that Ilia predicted a first-round knockout before the fight and delivered exactly as he said he would.
Do you think Makhachev beats JDM?
That's another question. I honestly don't know. I think it's going to be such a close fight. It'll be a difficult fight, but I think Islam does have the tools. I think he has more tools, to be honest with you. He has more of the offensive tools. I think JDM's keys to victory are basically keep the fight standing and make sure your hands land. While Islam, takedowns, striking, he just has more tools to win that fight. So I do lean towards him, but it'll be a really difficult fight.
Javier Mendez commented that Charles Oliveira chose to stand and trade strikes with Ilia Topuria, which might not have been the best strategy, but perhaps Charles had no other choice because of Ilia's relentless pressure. He described it as an exciting fight that showed Ilia is truly a top contender in the lightweight division. Mendez added that it's great for UFC fans to witness the rise of a new star, and even as a coach, he enjoys watching these big moments just like any other fan.
I know we were breaking down this fight recently, and we thought that maybe Charles Oliveira was being underlooked here, but how impressed are you with Ilia Topuria for the performance and the way he was able to put Charles Oliveira out? Like, we haven't seen Charles laying out on, it looked like he was completely out. It was crazy scenes over there.
Yeah, no, it was extremely impressive, and you got to give hats off credit to Topuria. He is extremely impressive, extremely confident, and even picked the round he was going to knock him out in. He said he'd take him out in the first round.
Javier Mendez also responded to Ilia Topuria's comments about Islam Makhachev not deserving an immediate lightweight title shot if he loses to JDM. Mendez said that if things happen that way, Ilia has every right to make that decision. He explained that although the UFC makes the final call, Ilia is the champion now and can choose to tell Islam to wait his turn, and he fully supports that stance.
Charles was, willing to engage with him. He stood in the pocket with him, which I'm not so sure that was a smart move, but regardless, maybe Charles didn't have a choice and Ilia's pressure was just too much. So either way, it was an exciting fight, and it just showed that, Ilia's the real deal at lightweight also. So no, it was a fun fight for the fans, and a new star is on the horizon now, which is great for the UFC, great for us fans, because, I just might be a fan myself of all these guys, not just a coach of my guys. I love watching the great events like this.
Javier Mendez further mentioned that since Ilia Topuria now holds the lightweight title, he has the power to make decisions about future matchups. However, he added that it will also come down to what the UFC decides and what Islam Makhachev wants to pursue. Mendes emphasized that their current focus is on Jack Della Maddalena JDM, who is a very dangerous opponent. He stressed that they need to deal with that challenge first before thinking about any potential fight with Ilia, calling JDM an extremely tough test and their immediate priority.
Ilia Topuria, he's been bringing up Islam Makhachev all through the week, talking about how he wants to fight him for a third belt. But what was your reaction to Ilia saying that if Islam loses to JDM, he doesn't want to give him a title shot and he'll have to get back in line? He doesn't want to give him an immediate title shot. What was your reaction when you saw him saying that?
Well, if it happens like he's saying, he's in the driver's seat, so he can dictate what he wants. You know, the UFC decides what they want, but Ili's got a decision too. And basically, he's just saying, hey, look, if you want to come back down to this weight, you know, I'm the king now, so wait in line. So yeah, he's got a right to do that. He has the right to do that. He's the champ.
UFC 317 has come to an end, and there's a new lightweight champion crowned. Although Charles Oliveira didn't come out on top this time, his words reveal the spirit of a true fighter, as he takes time to recover and reflect on his journey. The entire MMA community is watching closely too. See what lies ahead for the beloved former champion. Stay tuned for more updates.
Champ at that weight now, so he can call the shots, and let's see what the UFC allows him to do, and let's see what Islam wants. We have to still get by JDM, and that's no easy task. JDM is going to be an extremely tough fight for us. So, you know, let's focus on JDM before we can focus on something else that could be a really exciting fight down the line. But let's see what the cards play for us right now. It's JDM.